My name's Richard Whitehead. I'm the finance director at Divine Days. I've been with the company for 4 years, and we work as a collaborative company to support anyone with SEN or inequalities in health.
And I'm Josh O'Sullivan, the IT manager. I've been here 1 year as an intern and 2 years as a worker. I was a part of the aforementioned Divine Days legacy project before being taken on as a full-time employee by Katie Whitehead and Richard Whitehead. Well, for starters, most typical keyboards limit my capability to type because it does not have the tactile or sensory input that allows me to type as efficiently as I usually do. So the first thing that I've asked for is a mechanical keyboard, which was nerve-wracking to begin with because the keyboard that I have in the current office is used for gaming, gaming, but this is what I'm used to. So I was like, hey, could I have this keyboard because it gives me the tactile and sensory input? And thanks to that, now I'm able to work more efficiently, but also get the sort of like calmness of a clicking keyboard, which is something that I've, grown up with because of my love of computers ever since I was a young and
Because Josh was our first member of staff with diagnosed SEN or neurodiversity, there was a couple of trial and errors where we didn't really necessarily know 100%, and it's okay to make a mistake. You can't know everything, but working together in partnership with each other, we understood what was necessary and what was beneficial for Josh to complete his job to the best of his ability. So, for example, we've now got blue lights sunglasses that you use sometimes when the light's oversensitive. So there's a few, obviously, we try our best to facilitate everything that Josh needs on a daily basis, but again, we sometimes make errors. I think there was an incident when we were speaking on the phone about something that was a really short change. It was like, oh, tomorrow can we do this? I think it was the event in the concourse. Yeah. We had an event, it was like, Josh, you coming along? And it sort of was like, right, okay. So we'll work backwards from there, right? What can you cope with? What can you handle?
Yeah.
And actually, because we talked it through, you were able to attend that and you thrived. But actually, looking back and reflecting, we should have done that a lot better to go, right, okay, next Thursday is an event in our local shopping centre. So therefore, at least a week before, knowing your rota is coming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, oh, by the way, we've got this thing on Thursday, that would have been a much more sensible way to do it. And then you could have had appropriate time to readjust and then understand and then make sure you were your best self and help support you. So we don't get it right all the time, but it's learning from errors, and that's often the best way you learn. And it's not
a case of you have to be right 100% of the time. And it would have been really easy for Richard to just go, well, you should be able to adjust because I'm able to do so. But it's the acknowledgement of the differential between my needs and what other people could have, which allows me to then be able to go, yeah, this is something that's, made me feel anxious because it's a change and it's a really quick change, but it could have been really easy for him to just go, I'll deal with it. It's always a case of, people always assume that I'll need the bigger change and it's the Flanderization on television that always makes it seem like that. You look in media. There was a show about an autistic doctor. From my perspective, it looked like they took the base core idea of what it means and they've cranked it up to 11. He had this sort of monotone voice, he can't control his emotions very well and this, that, and the other. And it's just, you're really missing the point of ASD. The S is there in the title. It's a spectrum. So there's not going to be one size fit all. So when you do stuff like that, you got people thinking, oh, that's what autism is. It's really hard to be able to get into like working environments because you're always assumed to be this sort of caricature, depending on what sort of things people have seen versus than what you actually are.
So it's just like if you're putting in a job application out to people, if it's, say, finance director, somebody that's creative in the arts wouldn't apply for it because that's not their thing. So therefore, it works the same with neurodiversity. Just because Josh is autistic and he loves IT doesn't mean the next person that we employ that's neurodiverse will have any interest in IT, maths or anything. They could be exactly the same as the mainstream. There's a role for, I don't know, creatives like dance, drama, and there's a role for IT managers, and there's a range for everyone else. It's not like, oh, if he's autistic, he must like computers and he must like IT, and it's like one box fits all. It's exactly the same as everybody else.
One of the main ones I find for stereotype is trains, which is really awkward because I don't like trains. When I was a young boy, I asked a doctor, a nurse in primary school, what autism was, and they told me you're either going to be really good at maths, English, or music, which is really, really awkward considering I nearly failed both of the core subjects and then got kicked out of music because I didn't take lessons at home. So it's just this one size fits all sort of thing. It's the person centered approach that really needs to happen, because it's rather than one size fits all. It's just we're all differently shaped.